Good morning, San Alejo. I'm Carson.
And I'm Grace.
Please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Put your hand over your heart.
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
I'm Mr. Vega from Counseling, and with me I have a special guest. I have Mrs. Lisa Berry from San Marcos High School, one of your future counselors. And so real quick, what is your student alphabet and caseload?
Okay, so currently I'm working with students with the last names S through Z, but that could potentially change because our school's going to grow and a lot of you are coming to our school, and so my alphabet might change, but I'm usually stayed towards the end of the alphabet. Currently I have about 500 students on my caseload, but that doesn't mean that you can't meet with me and I don't have time, and that could change again next year too, depending on how many students come to our school.
All right. And how do you help your students?
Well, there's many different things that we do for students. First thing is, students sometimes think if they're coming to the counselor, they're in trouble, and that's not true at all. Actually, we help students. If they've been in trouble, we're there to help and advocate for them. But there's 3 ways that we help them. Usually we start with their classes and helping them navigate through high school, picking the right classes that are right for them, helping them if they're struggling and giving them resources if they're struggling. So we also help them with college and career preparation, so when they graduate from high school that they have a plan, whether that's to go to college or training or whatever it is they need to be successful after they finish high school. And then we also help them on the social emotional side. We help them if they're having trouble at home, if they're having trouble with friends, having trouble transitioning to high school. So we help them with all 3 of those things.
All right. And what made you decide to be a high school counselor?
I had a different career before this. I used to work in the corporate business world, and after September 11th, I decided I wanted to do something different and something more challenging, and I really loved working with teenagers. It's something I always enjoyed. I know when I was younger, I had a school counselor who helped me when I was going through some tough times and helped me get a job and helped me get prepared for college. And so I started exploring it as a career later in life, and just found that it was something I really enjoyed doing, and working with teenagers is just a lot of fun.
What is the best part of your job?
I think the best part is watching students grow in many different ways, even physically, from the time they walk through the door and then when they cross that stage with their diploma, watching how much they've grown emotionally, intellectually, watching them blossom in a way. And I've seen kids come in who just really have struggled with various issues, and they come through and all of a sudden they realize they can be successful. And on graduation day, it just brings a big smile because I've seen so many students come so far and be successful.
All right, last question. What suggestions would you make to our students to prepare for high school?
Well, there's so many that I have a list.
Wow.
But they all are intervene. The first thing is you have to remember freshman year counts. Grades count. You have to earn credits. It's very different than middle school where you move to the next grade level, you move to the next class. So freshman year counts. It counts for graduation. It counts for college. Another thing is learning how to communicate with your teachers. Sometimes that's a really tough transition, and if you need to know where you stand with your grades, what assignments you're missing. It's really important to build that relationship with your teachers. Homework is very, very important in high school. That could be the difference between passing and failing a class, or the difference between a B and a C in a grade. So it's really something that you might not think is very important, but it really is, especially when you get down to grades and the difference between a percentage and a grade. I also want to recommend that students get really involved in school. We have, I want to say over at least 50 clubs on campus. Students can create their own clubs. There's other ways you can get involved in leadership at our school, and that is something that's really, really important. And take risks. I think it's important to take risks academically, to challenge yourself, but not to a point where it affects your grades. You have to have a balance in life. So I recommend don't take the easy way out, but also don't challenge yourself so much that it causes stress or causes that it could affect your grades in other classes and such. Also keep in mind that when you come to high school, you're going to have a lot of your same friends from middle school, but you're also going to meet new friends, and that's okay. And maybe even some of your old friends might meet new friends, and you might not spend as much time with each other, but that's okay. And lastly, the upperclassmen are not as scary as you think, and that they are important to communicate and work, because they've been where you were at one point, and so, or where you will be, and so keep in mind they're not scary, and they really do want to help and support you when you come to high school.
All right, that concludes our interview. Thank you very much, Mrs. Berry.
Good luck.
Attention slam poets. The following students need to be in the gym for our group picture no later than 11:50 today.
Good morning, Eagles. Quick sports announcement. There's been a slight change to today's varsity game, soccer game. It will be on Thursday now, so JV and varsity will be back-to-back at MLK Middle School. Varsity first starts at 3:30, followed by JV right after, usually about 4:30. Sorry for the mix-up, but we're good to go. You do have pictures today, all sports teams, don't forget. Track and field also has a home meet on Thursday with all the Carlsbad schools, so that should be very exciting, their first one. And girls basketball. So, go Eagles! Thank you.
After 3 weeks of intense voting, we're down to the final two contenders for March Madness, library style. The final match will pit your favorite literary hero, Cinder from the Lunar Chronicles, versus your favorite literary villain, the White Witch from the Chronicles of Narnia. It's the classic battle of good versus evil. Who will be crowned the March Madness champion? Go to the library webpage to cast your votes now. Voting closes on Thursday, and the winner will be announced this Friday.
Don't forget, yearbook pictures are out today. If you're part of a club, make sure that you go to room 301 during lunch 4A or 4B. And if you're part of a sport, meet at the gym right after school and change into your uniforms. Thanks!